has come from far away to show us truth, to light the way. We were in sorrow, lost and small. Now he lifts us above it all. He says your soul's not just a name. You've come to play a sacred game. No more pain, no more fight. Just peace, just love, just a light. I am a soul, a being of peace. I let the pull of the world release. With one above, I stay so still. I follow truth, I feel God's will. We are the most elevated ones, children of the shining sun. The teacher is God, the guide so true. He shows us what we're born to do. In this world, we learn to act with peace and love, not looking back. In heaven, there's no sorrow there, no anger, no war, just pure air. We now must practice every day to see ourselves in a higher way. No more I, no more mine, only the soul, only the sky. Remember.
Good morning. Hope everyone is well this morning. So we are God's children, and the Yahweh's been going for 90 years. And everything's changing. Everything is changing in the world, and everything is changing in our Yahweh. In a way, we have to become the masters of change. And I've had the fortune in my Brahma life to be a part of the RC group. And we meet quite often in the regional coordinators. And a lot of people feel sorry for us because we have long meetings and the poor things. But I've always seen this as good company, you know, that always there, and all of them there. And once we were in one of the meetings, and one of the sisters, the RC, said to Bridge Mumbai, this Bridge Mumbai was a part of it too. And she said with a lot of passion, Bridge Mumbai, what is happening? What is happening? Our dad isn't coming anymore. There's no daddies left. During COVID, no one's coming to the centres. You know, we don't see the family. What is happening? And he said they've been asking that question since 1936. This is it's just changed so much, and we have to adapt, don't we? You know, on the surface, some may feel things aren't as good as they used to be, but actually, spiritually, it's so beneficial because we're saying all the supports are going. The supports of going to Mother Mana, meeting Baghdad, spending the time with the daddies. But actually, what is the aim of this life? It's to have one support. And in a way, all of this change is encouraging us to really have such a spiritual foundation that is so rock solid that Baba's my foundation, so that really we can set up and play our part as an angel at the end. Because the angel has one in their heart and it's benevolent to all. And those times are really coming out there. And when I took spiritual birth in London, and I was only coming for 2 months, and Lady Jane, he said, go to Madhavan. And I always feel she thought, get him to Madhavan before he runs away somewhere. I was 22. But well, I got to Madhavan in 1975, and you know, the second, in those days, Baba would come every second night. And first time I met Baba, at the end of the morning, it was in the history hall, and the double foreign season was free. There was 3 of us. And at the end of the morning, I was called up and I sat in front of Baba. And you know, Baba would always meet with long drishti, long drishti. And I had this amazing feeling how Baba's drishti sort of went so deep into the soul, scanned all the memory like scanned all the sense paths, and fell on a part of me that had gone to sleep, you know, like your original self, your deity self, your pure self. And it massaged up to the surface. And something shifted in me that night. There was a sense that Baba gave me back, a sense of self-respect and self-value. But Baba then asked me 2 questions. And in a way, these 2 questions have defined my life with Baba. And the first question, imagine I was 2 months in here, and Baba said to me, you have one Shiv Baba and none other. Yes. You can't say no to Baba. And I think when Baba answers, he's not saying you are this, it's what this is how you can move forward on this basis. And the second question he asked me, are you stable on drama? And I definitely wasn't, but I said yes. You know how I think Baba sort of, these 2 questions, yeah, in a way have taken me forward. And I think coming into the future, really, it's just finding this stability based on having all the relationships with one Shiva. It's the absolute foundation of this life. My observation of the Brahmins really grow, is always moving forward. You know how some beings seem to be progressing and blossoming? They have this sense now of all relationships with one Shiva. Once we are steady professionally, when Brahma Baba left, imagine his presence, incredible presence. Imagine when you know, it's like mid-40s. It's like mid-40s. And Baba gave the whole responsibility. And he said, why did Baba choose you? And she said, right from the beginning, I had all relationships with one Shiv Baba. And in a way that wins Baba's trust, because Baba knows that wherever he puts you, you're under the influence of God, you're not being influenced in other ways. So as always, Baba's reminding us today really that this life is actually so simple. It's very simple, really. We can make it very complicated if we want to. But it's reminding us to put myself under his canopy. So today you're going to hear the Murli in English. Aaron's applauding. I don't know whether I said yesterday, I can't remember. Did I say why I don't speak Hindi? I did, yeah. I can say it's Danny Jenkins' responsibility. So the essence, sweet children, you have come to the Father to make your fortune elevated. To the extent that you follow Srimat, you will accordingly make your fortune elevated. Question: what habit of the path of devotion should you children no longer have? The answer: on the path of devotion, when they experience a little sorrow or they fall ill, they say, "Oh God, oh Rama." On the path of devotion, there is a habit of crying out in sorrow. You must no longer allow such words to emerge from your mouth. You should internally remember sweet Baba with a lot of love. The song, I have come with my fortune awakened. Om Shanti. Every human being makes effort to create a fortune of happiness or peace. Sages, holy men, and sannyasis say, we want peace. Remove our sorrow and grant us happiness. They believe that only God is the remover of sorrow and the bestower of happiness to human beings. They have that belief, but they don't know God. They believe God will remove their sorrow, but they don't know who He is. But human beings don't know God. You say Shiv, Baba, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar cannot be called Baba. They are deities. Only God is called Baba. He is incorporeal and He is worshipped. You know that Shiv Baba is the Baba of everyone. However, they don't understand why they call him Baba. There are worldly Babas too. And so which Baba is this? Souls say that one is the incorporeal Father. He is incorporeal, and we souls are also incorporeal. Even though people have worldly fathers, souls don't forget that Father. God is the Father, and we are His children. Here He is called the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, the highest on high. A worldly father is a creator of bodies, whereas that one is the Father from beyond this world. Only the Father sits here and explains to you children. You remember the Father because you received the inheritance from Him. You have come to the Father to claim your inheritance. Only the Father, the remover of sorrow, the bestower of happiness, comes to show you the path to happiness. There will be no name or trace of sorrow there. Do you think it's possible with the intellect of now to really feel a world where there's absolutely no even concept of sorrow? It's hard to imagine with the intellect. With every millisecond we see happiness, sorrow, like, dislike, etc. We know duality is so much duality. Here there is a lot of sorrow. Everyone calls out. There is now a lot of sorrow to come in this world. When someone dies, people become so unhappy. They say, oh God and I. He alone is the benefactor Father. You've seen this, and so he must definitely have removed your sorrow and given you happiness. The Father comes and explains. Children, every cycle when you become very unhappy and impure, it is then that you call out, oh, Baba, come. I come cycle after cycle at the confluence age. It is called the confluence age.
दीदी ओम शांति दीदी वॉइस नहीं आ रहा है। दीदी ओम शांति मिनल में ओम शांति
हाँ जी ओम हाँ
दीदी भाई का हाँ म्यूट हो गया है।
अच्छा I'll just say
The path to find God cannot be found in the scriptures. Now, once I went with Daddy Janky to meet the head of BBC religious television, and he had a little church in the heart of London. And when we went into his office, it was as big as this room. I've never seen more books. They were right up to the ceiling, stacked on the floor. I mean, he was an incredible scholar of all religions. And yet I was watching him and Daddy. There was no peace in his face. And Daddy is sparkling. And I really saw, you can have all this information, but it doesn't actually give you happiness in your life. And it really had an impact on me, just looking at Daddy's face sparkling, which he was inviting to, the one who just, and he was obviously an incredible scholar. The path to find God cannot be found in the scriptures. They do realize that God has to come here. So there is no question of trying to go there. They hold sacrificial fires and to perform, to pasture, etc. is not the way to find Him. People call out to God, come and show us the path. My soul has become tunneled down and cannot fly. That is, he cannot go to the Father. In fact, the soul sheds his body and takes another. He can go anywhere from here. A soul can even go to America. There's a few countries double mentions. America, England, occasionally Japan, and occasionally Spain. If a soul still has a relationship with someone, he could go straight there in a second. But it is impossible for a soul to fly back home. Impure souls cannot go there, and this is why souls call out, "Oh, purifier, come." I remember also Daddy Janky telling us at the beginning of the year in the 30s, when Baba was just coming down, he was huge. He was touring India, and he'd get huge crowds chanting, Patit Pavan Sitaram, Purifier, come. She said as a girl she could hear it in Hyderabad, he'd have this huge crowd, and it was like, and this is the context, that thousands of people, tens of thousands, all know God, come. And isn't it ironical that Baba came at that time? No one knew how he came. Oh, purified come. The Father explains when he comes, I only come when the whole world has become pure. There cannot be a single pure being in this impure world. People believe that the Ganges is the purifier, and this is why they go and bathe in it. Has anyone bathed in the Ganges? Oh, okay. I have to.
Before knowledge.
Before knowledge, exactly. I just put my toes in it. However, no one can be purified with water. This old world is impure and the new world is pure. You have now come to the unlimited Father to claim your inheritance. You have to become charitable souls. New souls were Sattva-pradhan and are now Tama-pradhan. You cannot become Sattva-pradhan by bathing in the Ganges. It is only the Father's task to purify the impure. There are rivers of water everywhere. Rain comes from the clouds and everyone experiences it. If rivers of water could purify, they would purify everyone. Only the Father comes and shows you through this one the way to become pure. This one's soul is his own. Separate. The Father says, I don't have a body of my own. I enter this one every cycle in order to explain it to you. you. You don't know your own limits. They say that the duration of each cycle is max of years, hundreds of thousands of years. The Father says this cycle is 84 births. No one can take 8.4 million births in 5,000 years. The Father explains, you were 16 celestial degrees full age, then 2 degrees less, and then the degrees gradually continue to decrease. The new world becomes old. The copper and iron ages are called the impure world. These things are not mentioned in the scriptures. Only I am called the ocean knowledge. Do I study the scriptures? Does God study the scriptures? I know the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. Those on the path of devotion cannot have this knowledge. All of that is the knowledge of the path of devotion. People sin. We are degraded sinners. We have no virtues. Have mercy on us. It was because there was mercy for them, Lakshmi and Ryan, that they changed from humans into deities. This is called the highest fortune. People go to school to make their fortune. Someone becomes a judge and someone else an engineer. That fortune is vicious, whereas your fortune is being made by God. And this is why you call out to the remover of sorrow and the bestower of happiness to come. No one but the Father can teach you and make you into deities. The Father sits here and speaks to souls. The soul says, this is my body. The body does not say, this is my soul. The soul is in the body. He says, this is my body. People say, don't make my soul suffer. If a soul were not in that body, he could not speak. The soul says, I shed my body and take. I have definitely experienced 84 births and have become a resident of hell. You are now once again making effort to become the residents of heaven. Only the Father makes you into the residents of heaven. The Golden Age is called heaven. When they say that so-and-so became a resident of heaven, they tell it lies. This is hell. When someone dies, people say that he's gone to heaven. So why do they invite him back to hell to eat the food of the island? Bob's logic is so refractory, so simple and logical. He would receive many comfortable facilities in heaven, so why do you invite him back to hell? People don't have even this much understanding. The Father sits here and explains, children, this Iron Age is now to be destroyed. It is to be set on fire. Everything is going to be destroyed. When we from Australia used to make in the 70s, Barbara would say to us that in the Golden Age Australia will be picnic spots. Look at the size of the country. And actually, when you fly over the central Australia, it looks like the bottom of the ocean, which it will become. You know they found shells, seashells, in the middle of Australia. They're right in the mouth of Australia, that was the ocean. Even when we have the Blue Mountains Retreat Centre, it's about 1,000 metres. At 900 metres, seashells absolutely everywhere. So indications of, and there's stories about it. There's even a photographer came to, he used to work at the retreat centre because we bought it. He had a picture of the mountains and the sea all around it. Because the mythology of the indigenous people was the sea came right out of them. And to make that point. When the saying the iron age is now to be destroyed, it will be set on fire. Everything is to be destroyed. You children who are claiming your inheritance from your father will go and rule in the golden age. Who gave this inheritance to Lakshmi and Murli? The Father. You are now being made worthy by the Father. You say that you are changing from the residence of hell and becoming the residence of heaven. The Father says, I don't become a resident of heaven. I only reside in the supreme region. You become residents of hell and the residents of heaven. The residential home of souls is the land of peace. From there you go to a land of happiness. This is a land of sorrow, which is now to be destroyed. No one knows that God enters the body of Brahma and teaches Raja Yoga. They think that Sri Krishna himself came. They do not even say that God came in the body of Sri Krishna. Krishna cannot be called God. He is the master of the world. The liberator of all is one. He is the Supreme Soul. There is no other spiritual gathering in the world where they understand that they are claiming their inheritance from the Father. Only the one Father makes you pure from impure. The Father says, I am your true Guru and I purify you. The water of the Ganges cannot purify you. This is a world of sinful souls. There's that last Kumbh Mela they had at the beginning of last year. You know how many people went to it? 400 million people. It's the biggest event in the world. And on the main day, 50 million people came. I mean, India is amazing, isn't it? Where else could this happen? 400 million people at a single event. And apparently, what I heard, it was quite well organised this year. This is a world of sinful souls. No matter what people do, they have to come down the ladder. You have to become a Tamo Pradhan from Sati Pradhan. You no longer perform devotion. You do not even say, O Rama, here's your father and is teaching you. You should not even say, O God, come, O Rama. However, many have this habit, and so these words are mentioned, and some people, oh God. Some say, oh Christ. The Father says to you, remember me and your sins will be absolved, and you will come to me. You have to remember the one alone. The Father says, children, this is your last birth. Only at this time do you have a chance to claim whatever inheritance you want. You will not be able to claim it again. The Father has explained, those who call themselves Hindus originally belonged to the deity religion. Those who belong to the Christian religion never change the name of their religion. Even though they are Tamabulan, they are still in the Christian religion. You are deities, but because you are impure, you call yourselves Hindus. You cannot call yourselves deities. You have forgotten that you were originally deities. None of you call yourselves deities because you have become vicious. You have body consciousness. Everything is explained to you children very clearly. There are no sages or holy men here. To say I am a businessman or I am so-and-so is body consciousness. You now have to become soul-conscious. It requires effort to become soul-conscious. Sometimes I think that how far one really becomes self-conscious to this state that when I'm totally self-conscious, not influenced by anything, not even an inkling of fear of death, I live in the present. You think, how high is that stage? How far have we become? If this is the fundamental subject of this university, I think sometimes it's hardly viable to say. And this is, the beginning of the year, for those 14 years, I just think, sometimes I think, what karma did those souls do to live almost face to face with God for 14 years? What incredible action with those, what effort did they make? There was just this button for 14 years to become self-conscious. And that's why I think the Devis had a different flavour. There was a feeling that they emanated, because they really were self-conscious. The Bible says it requires effort to become self-conscious. You have to claim your inheritance from God. Therefore, remember the Father. Let your hands do the work while your heart is set to the Father. You are the lovers of the one hope. That one beloved is the spirit of salvation for all. He comes when everyone is to receive salvation and heaven is to be established. All name and trace of sorrow disappear. You children have come here to claim your inheritance. How many times has God said today? What's the inheritance? To claim your inheritance of happiness of heaven for 21 births from the unlimited Father. No human being can make anyone into a master of heaven. Shiv Baba comes in Bharat and makes it in heaven. People celebrate the birthday of Shiva, but they have forgotten that they received their inheritance of heaven for evil. Acha, acha.
रूहानी बापी रूहानी बच्चों को नमस्ते। हम
रूहानी बच्चों की
रूहानी बाप दादा
को भी याद
प्यार
गुड
गुड
मॉर्निंग
मॉर्निंग और
नमस्ते।
नमस्ते।
थैंक यू
शुक्रिया बाबा।
थैंक
So
यू
the
ब्रदर।
essence. Number one, make your fortune elevated on the basis of this study. You have to become deities of being beings. You have to become pure and return home and then go to the new world. 2. Whilst working with your hands, stay in remembrance of the one Father, neither listen to nor say your things in blessing. May you remain constantly stable in your pure form and only pick up pearls of virtues as a holy swan. You holy swans have a pure form, and your duty is constantly to pick up pearls of virtues. Never take the pebbles of defects into your intellect. However, in order to fulfill this duty, the duty of seeing virtue, always remember one order. Think no evil, hear no evil, see no evil, and speak no. Those who keep this order constantly in their awareness always stay on the shores of the ocean. The residence of you swans is what swans live. The ocean. Within the ocean of love and peace. The slogan, to be in your angelic form while walking and moving around, is a gift that pleases the Father, brothers, heart. To be in your angelic form while moving and walking around is a gift that pleases another brother's heart. On the other signal. Remain constantly busy in making self-progress and progress in service, and have good wishes for everyone. Do not play your part on the basis of some relationship, but play it in relationship service. Secondly, do not make any perishable facilities your support or basis. All of those are just in name, they are for service. Use them for service and become attached. Do not let your mind be attracted to the attraction of facilities. Good morning, if you are still. So, sometimes when I think how each day we have the fortune to listen to pure truth. And for half a cycle it's been human truth, adulterated truth, half truth. That's really, sometimes I think we need to remind ourselves, don't we? Because this human nature is to become familiar with everything, even with Baba and Baba's truth. We take it for granted a little bit. But I was, one day, it was about 5 or 6 years ago, I was having breakfast with me thereby, and halfway through breakfast he said to me, "Oh, Daddy was not raining this morning from Mumbai. You remember when Daddy was in Mumbai for 2 or 3 years?" And she said Baba pulled her into trance. And it was, as far as I know, it was the last trance message. And even he said it's extraordinary because she hadn't gone into trance for some time. And she rang him after Amal Baya. And Baba said 3 things. The first was children, build the power of yoga. We'd all expect Baba to say that. But the second thing Baba said was children, clear all your mental accounts with every other soul, Brahman and non-Brahman. Third was very practical, store food in the future. But I think that for me, listening to the Brahman family and interacting with my own personal experience, that second truth that Baba spoke, that second direction, to clear all your mental accounts with everybody. How important is this? Because once Baba said, children, if you don't have complete happiness in this life, I mean, we know Baba, we know Tree. Why? And he said, look at purity in relationships, meaning look at the quality of your relationships, because I think this is the sort of the gravity that pulls me down from having this unadulterated relationship with Baba. Sometimes I feel in the whole of eternity, this is the only time I can know Baba as he is actively. Am I giving at that time? And I feel that how can I tell the quality of my spirituality? I feel it's in my relationships with others. Because at the end of the cycle, all of us have the whole spectrum of sanskaras. We are all souls. We have the capacity to be so loving, so sweet, so kind. But at the other end of the spectrum, we have the capacity to be so sensitive, so delicate, so easily hurt. You know. And in a way, when I come in front of another soul, the way I see relationships, all they do is they face their vibration, the memories trigger what's in my memory track. In a way, other souls are the instruments to show me who I am and what sanskaras I have. And the one with knowledge will, when something is triggered, will look at yourself. The one without knowledge will look at the other. We all know this truth, and yet how big is the habit to look at the other and love and take full responsibility? And in a way, other souls are a messenger for me to know who I am. So if there's a reaction of a little bit of negativity, a little bit of hurt or whatever, it's showing me where I need to work. And I sometimes think, what is the role of the Brahmin family? What is the role of the Brahmin family? I think the Brahmin family will make me pure. Really. If I can live in the heart of this family and maintain elevated relationships, I know my sanskaras have changed. But along the way there will be differences. Actually, it's more. There will be differences. That's not the issue. The issue is how I respond. Do I go back to my old story, feeling hurt, feeling upset, overthinking, talking to people, just in a sense creating a deeper need to account with that person? Or do I look at myself and see, why did I react in this way? And really, this is what I learned from Betty Tanky. That anything that she felt, she would look at herself and question, why? What do I need to understand to really change? Because the ultimate truth of the law of karma is I'm 100% responsible for how I feel. And if I take that on board, I can change. But even if a little bit I'm just still thinking it's there, it's this, it's that, I won't be able to bring that complete change in myself. And I sometimes look at myself and think, well, what is my level of purity? All of us are practicing for so many years. I can tell the level of my purity, my progress, by my reactions to people. And so if I reject the person, if I completely reject, I don't speak to them, I ignore them, I would say it's showing me I still have time about sense of others. Once David Jenke said the most tamapada of the sanskara of sanskaras is to reject another person. Don't speak to them, ignore them. But it's showing me, it's not the other person, they're the instrument showing me my level of spirituality. What are tamo sanskaras? I would say when I'm constantly critical, you know, I become critical, mentally critical of others. I mightn't say much, but in my mind, say, I don't like this, I don't like that, this is not good, etc. Or I get easily upset, tiny things happen, I get easily upset. So my reactions are showing me really what's still in me. What are Rajal sanskaras? I would say preferences. I like you, I don't like you. Really, this like, dislike sanskara, I feel really is not, it's really a raja sanskara, not more. That really we should be the observer of all souls and their hearts. So I like this one, I don't like this one, I like this behavior, I don't like this behavior. And in a way, it's my reactions to people. It's not really, it's about my reaction showing me what sanskaras are still left in me. And what is sattva sanskaras? It's when naturally I have good wishes for people, I have love for people, I have mercy for people. And really, I studied all the Advaita glories. I used to study the whole season. I made notes of each season for years. What I noticed was the constant theme that was coming through for years and years in the last 15, 17 years was just to, no matter what, have good wishes and pure feelings for others. Clear your mental accounts, because then you can remember God. And I often feel one of the biggest obstacles, if we go to remember Baba, we're thinking about people, sort of reacting to people, and it really holds me back. And one thing that Baba said that I found really powerful was, he would say sometimes, children, right is right and wrong is wrong, but don't repeat your feelings. For me, it's one of the best definitions of being a detached observer. Because what happens is sometimes I see a behavior of a Brahman that's not appropriate. And then we get into my sense of justice and moralizing, that's wrong. And you know what Baba said? They've made a mistake. And your judgment, your moralizing is making an equal mistake. We're making an equal mistake in that way. And it's almost like, I would say, Baba can see in behavior, but he observes it. And in a way, when I'm body conscious, I see a bad behavior and I react. I have negative feeling, critical feeling, bad feeling. But when I'm soul conscious, I can still see the behavior. It's absolutely clear. But I maintain good feelings. And I feel this, if I really understand this, the soul will fly. Because so much of our study now is to keep my feelings clean, no matter what is happening. That we're living in a completely tamak world, all the behavior around us. And if I keep reacting, I don't remember Baba, I can't progress, I remain stuck. But when I really become the observer and just watch and make a decision, to me it's almost like a decision in life. Have good wishes and pure feelings. It's clearing all my accounts with other souls. Once Baba said, if you want to become an angel, hold 5 feelings in your mind. Who wants to become an angel? Silly question, isn't it? We all want to get there. But Baba said, if you keep 5 feelings in the sacred space of your mind and don't pollute it with reaction, bad feeling, hurt feeling, critical feeling, the soul will reach that state. And they were like the feelings of love and cooperation, the feelings of benevolence, the feelings of zeal and enthusiasm, the feelings of belonging, giving everyone belonging. I remember Baba said the quality of the angels is everyone feels they belong to them. And finally the feelings of soul consciousness. And to me, when I heard that, it felt like this is the feelings I keep in my mind. And any time I pollute that pure space inside it, a reaction of a negative feeling, a bad feeling, a hurt feeling, what happens to your stage? It just comes down so quickly. And to me, if I really want to survive well, progress spiritually fast, I really have to keep these feelings inside of me so clean no matter what. Because when I was studying those Murlis, and I would summarize the main themes, the language in every second Murli was children, no matter what someone was like. How many times has Buddha said that? No matter what someone was like, your duty is to give them love. And then Buddha would go on, not superficial love, but real love from the heart. No matter what someone's like, even if they oppose you, you have to give good wishes and pure feelings. Because it's like Buddha's educating us to keep my stage high, you know. Because as soon as I react to that person, and that's one of the, when people oppose us, that usually is one of the triggers that generate negativity. So Buddha's trying to help us clear our mental accounts. And really, I think when we do, we're so flies. We're so absolutely flies. And I also remember once that Buddha met 13,000 mothers. You remember that in the early 2000s? Remember?
The reminded parent used to come with a story, small bowl with sugar and salt, and put on the samples.
Yeah.
In one of them.
Very sweet. But then Baba said an amazing thing to the mothers. He said, if you mothers do one thing, you will change the world and you'll reach your complete stage. And that one thing, good wishes, good wishes, good wishes, good wishes. Baba just said, live in this world, no matter how Tamil behavior. And Baba said, even if someone puts you down and insults you, don't react, you remain good wishes, and you will change the world. But the way Baba said it, I just loved it. And I think that's our challenge, because my ego accepts sorrow. So this is one of our sensitive points. But I think it holds me back, because what happens is when I have someone behaves in a way and I have hurt feeling, bad feeling, critical feeling, I go back to my old sanskaras and I give power back to my impurity. You know, each reaction, I'm just making that sanskara stronger to react, to feel hurt, to feel upset, to feel whatever. And so it's like I want to go forward, and yet each time I react, I take one step forward, one step back, one step forward, and then I think I'm a Brahmin of so many years, and I'm not really moving forward like I thought I should be. Each time I react with love, with respect, I give power to my pure sense skills. And I thought this is the main thing that holds us back spiritually. It's just reacting to people, analysing people too much, processing my feelings. We spend a lot of mental time, and it holds me back. And this power of good feelings, good wishes, really clears my account with others. And I think sometimes we say to Baba, okay, Baba, I'm really going to do this, I'm really going to have good wishes. Those one or two souls that I find a bit challenging. And I try and after a while, I feel nothing works, and say, Baba, it's not working. And one of the reasons I think, we sort of think, you are a really difficult soul, but I'll have good wishes for you. You know that? You are a big problem, but I'm having good wishes for you. Guess what? Doesn't work. They have to be absolutely, genuinely from the heart. And it's a huge power, because it keeps your mind clean, your feelings clean, your heart clean. And that purity, it's purity actually. You know, impurity is all about influence. Fundamentally, the more impure the soul, the more I'm affected by people, their faces, their vibrations, their behaviors, their attitudes. And that's how we've been for 63 births. And this power to have these elevated feelings, these good wishes, this really clears my accounts. And I feel, if I want to go fast now, keep your feelings clean. To me, it's like a decision. Yes, the behavior is not right. Yes, they may not follow suit. Now, all of that is true. But I made a decision. I want to move forward. I'm going to keep myself clean. I'm going to have good wishes. But everyone around me. And I think that really fly. And you know, even this morning, what did Baba say in that I wanted to see virtues in everyone. I would say that's probably the quality of a settled Tibetan intellect. And you know, Daddy Janki told us, imagine in Karachi, they lived together for 14 years. How well would we know each other? Imagine if the time we've been locked the front gate and told us we're going to live here for 14 years together. How well would we know each other? And so she said she would write down the virtues of everyone, especially when the intellect sort of starts to see a defect or a weakness. She said she'd write down 10 virtues of a person to rebalance, recalibrate my vision. Because when it falls on the defect, it just amplifies it. I think it's all we can see. And I've done it too myself, because I really feel we have to learn the beauty of everyone. Because when your drishti holds the value of others, they feel it. And just feel company is uplifting, just being who you are. This is the real service in the logic and unlogic world. I feel just to spread experience. Anyway, I think we should offer all. Yes.
You mentioned there were 3 souls, double foreigners, when you met Baba. So who were the
Interestingly, there was my local friend Simon, who's Australian. And he was in Guyana, actually he lived in Texas, not Sector, in Texas for a while, but he moved away. But he's back in Australia, and he's quite close. The third one was a sister from, her name is Vera, from Cameroon. And she came, actually with Baba. She came and met Baba, and Baba even said, it's okay, she was so intoxicated. She went back to Cameroon, we never really heard from her, but we heard she's sort of become a guru in Cameroon. So, this is what we never heard again, a lot of them did not happen to her. So your next door neighbor. Yeah, drama's got so many interesting stories. But actually, a few foreigners had met before us, Denise, Nick, and there was a few sisters from London that they've passed away. Anthony was a few years behind us. He came in 77. Yeah. Ken came with me. Ken and I were living in London together. And we wanted really this huge house. Story. And there was hundreds of them. It was like Cornwall Terrace, it's prime real estate in London. There was 400 young people living in this place. So Ken was also living there. And I just knew him vaguely, and I started to go to Murli. And one day Ken saw me coming back. I said, "Where have you gone?" I said, "Can I come?" I said, "Sure." So he came to the Murli the next morning. He never did the 7-day course. And he's the one who often writes all the course materials, so I always tease him, "You're a fraud, Ken. You've never even done the course yourself." And then one teaching everyone. He came straight. And you know, in those days in London, you entered before in Tennyson Road, there's a picture of the cycle that said, "You were standing there 5,000 years ago." And then most people think, well, it's pretty weird. Ken, when he sort of read that, he said, you know, we all souls are different, aren't we? He was really touched by it. And then he went to a conference in Pune with Daddy Kashmir. in 1976, and it was a Brazilian mother there. And the Brazilian mother asked Benedict, who sent someone to Brazil. So Benedict asked Ken. So Ken himself was only in there 3 or 4 years, few years, and then he went to Brazil. So fascinating that each one's part of the plan, but it's Baba moving everyone to play the part of loss. So here, both of them will keep this here. Yeah, sure.
जा बाबा के अंतर द्वार, उड़ जा प्यारे वतन में, नीले अंबर के उस पार। पंछी रे पंचेंद्रिय का छोड़ दे बंधन, तन मन से तू हो जा समर्पण। पंचेंद्रिय का छोड़ दे बंधन, तन मन से तू हो जा समर्पण। दिव्य ज्योतिर्मय देह धारण कर, बाबा के पास जा हो के मगन। प्रेम की डोर में मोती पिरो के, प्रेम की डोर में मोती पिरो के, कर ले सच्चा श्रृंगार। उड़ जा प्यारे वतन में, नीले अंबर के उस पार, नीले अंबर के उस पार। पंछी रे बन के फरिश्ता बाबा से मिलना, देना संदेश हमारा। बन के फरिश्ता बाबा से मिलना, देना संदेश हमारा। याद प्यार हम सबका देना, लावतन का नजारा। सच्ची लगन से बन जा बाबा के, सच्ची लगन से बन जा बाबा के। तू गले को हार, उड़ जा प्यारे वतन में, नीले अंबर के उस पार। हो नीले अंबर के उस पार। पंछी रे
ओम शांति गगन भाई, हम सुन नहीं सकते।
Om Shanti, sister. We can't hear anything.
ओम शांति। भाई आपका स्क्रीन म्यूट है, सो हम कोई सुन नहीं सकते। थैंक यू गगन भाई, आपका स्क्रीन म्यूट है। बस आपकी स्क्रीन को अनम्यूट करें बस। हाँ ठीक है,
Is okay, is okay.
थैंक यू।
So, uh, 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 uh. So, or acknowledge. So, when we practice this forms of self-respect, we do not need acknowledgement from others. Self-respect is a concept. So these are whatever Baba says when we implement it or inculcate it into our life with self-respect. So I'm from Kenya, and I was born in Kenya. My mother was born in Kenya, and so Kenya is 5 generations running now. So we brought up there. So if you have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, Wallace Murli is very magical because I was a person who, if I read something once, I wouldn't like to read it. So even when I was doing my O levels, secondary, what you call in India, SSC and something like that, I read Introduction to Biology for my books. When the finals came, I just if I couldn't read it. So we get bored very quickly. When Wallace is something out of 50 minutes to a movie. It's just amazing. And you will notice that if you read the movie, or if you listen, then when you see the movie, oh, I missed this point, this is a good point. You know, every time you read the movie, there's something new gain. So we say the movie is magic. And in spiritual life, whatever you do, you have to take the first step. Just take first step and then keep on going. It's more that. So Bible says, don't listen for the thought, go with that. Well, Ramesh Kai once told us, because the young kids, you know, the financial advisor and all that, he said, one is to listen, the other is to read the word. And there is a difference you find. If you read the movie, you get more treasures. If you join the movie, even more. And the third thing, if you share this knowledge with others, new points. Even good thing, oh, I didn't really know, you know, or the understanding comes. So it's very important to even share the knowledge, listen to the book. So we listen to the Murli, we read the Murli, we join the Murli, and also share the knowledge, and we find abundance. So it's nothing boring, it's not the repetition, it's that spiritual journey is not boring. Working life for me was very boring. I went into a job multinational. First, it was management by crisis. It was crazy. First 3 months was very challenging. After 3 months, I was in control. And after 3 months, another 3 months, I was getting bored. You know? So it's like in secondary school, I didn't like secondary school, British system. And the reason was they kept on repeating. They kept on repeating the same thing again and again. You learn this year, next year again, maybe third year again, maybe I don't know. American University, I enjoyed it a lot because you learn something, your midterm, your finals, your assignments, your papers, and over and out. It's another subject. So I thought, so even in life, I found that that's why I did business because then I have first of all, I'm my own boss, I can do whatever I want to do, and it's less work. But spiritual life is not boring. The more you practice, the new experiences. There's stages. Look, yesterday, public program, Charlie guys spoke of any negative thoughts, words, or deeds you do will feel depressed. It's will feel down. Any positive, pure thoughts you have, you will feel happiness. What is a pure positive thought? Spiritual thought. What is a spiritual thought? Any thought associated with the soul or Atma or Ruh. So I'm a peaceful soul, I'm a pure soul, this is spirituality. So, and you want to judge whether you have to waste thoughts or not, look at the speed of the thoughts. If the speed of thoughts is fast, it's spiritual. What is the speed of thoughts when we get irritated or angry? Very fast, no? If you open your mouth, and after that, if the person comes in front of you, you can't even look at them. You turn your face. It's not our nature. So these are the two things, pure positive. If you have any pure thought, body conscious thoughts, thoughts of anger, greed, lust, anything, it will make you. The opposite is prosperity. So use this as a channel. Okay, fine, option. And
आपको कैसे ज्ञान में है how did you come to the knowledge?
okay, my mother first came in Maldives. The center was in Zambia.
Which year?
1974, the first center in Africa was in Zambia, the probably market without the Ramkata. And you know, the junkie also visited the business of Zambia. So there were no direct flights to Zambia, it was just dreaming. So the sister will stay 1 2 days here in Hawaii. So we saw an exhibition when I was probably 10 years old, 74. Around 76, my mother, there was a pub somewhere she went and she was attracted by what sister done. So then some others took this knowledge. So we were sent to a children's class when we were 12 at somebody's house. There was 76. 77, they got a small room, very small room, for this. And they started the classes again, children's class. Now in school they were teaching us learning. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Hydrogen 2, as we went second, hydrogen 2 plus water. And we are brought up with that kind of. So if a Swami came from India, a saint came from India, the world would ask, why not be learning because it's answered. We don't understand what is answered. Now my mother came in knowledge, so my mother stopped learning knowledge at home and I was upset. Why are you doing all this? And my father had a club. He had a business, transport, and he had a club. Where Wednesday, the Saturdays, there were chicken parties. So we had a chicken. So this sister gave the post. We went children's class, there was nothing. They would tell us you should not see movie. My mom is waste of time. For 12 years old, what is waste of time? We are missing time anyway. So you should, things like that. Okay, I think of 5 yesterday, yes, why I cried, why do you need my brother? It's why I said, he ate my biscuit, you know? She was. So, 78, my mother came from, no, this children's class, as a teacher, what kind of chicken? She's a genie, you know, an hour, genie is really non-violent, they don't even eat carrots, people who disturb the insect, and they're very. How can you even answer the question, what will chicken's parents feel now? But what did not say? Not really. I said, these people don't. And then everybody started asking questions. So her rule was, I say you have to accept it. That doesn't work. So my mother, my brother was going with mother, my father became working. She kept pestering me, you can't do the course. I said, in India, they have so many courses. This board, you know, I'm not looking for it. Then one day, friends said, you want to go about it. So I said, okay, I will also go. So I told my mother to me, once I do the course, don't ask me to, don't pester me, and your senior most teacher must. So she talked, at that time, Dr. Murli said she was a medical doctor. She's the one who was senior to Charlie Boy in Australia and Asia. So she took my course. I was 14 years old. And again, she gave me the lesson of the soul, made sense. So any question? I said, yeah, there is no course. She says, yes, there is. And she explained it on. And again, my question was, that was my only thing. I didn't want the issue. So she explained to me very logically when we ate this, the toxins go into man, they go in our body, bloodstream, blood circulates, you know, also in the brain, it exercise the vaccine. So that I was very content, very interested. Not that I became vegetarian next day, you know, when you don't eat something, you become happy. So then we did the 7th course, it made sense. It was really logical. It was really explained, made sense. But she lost her voice at the 7th day, and income sister went up. And her way of doing course is very different. Okay, let's meditate. Look at me. Soul, and we go to the soul mode and the mental power. During those days, there were no commentaries or nothing. We were sitting down on the sponge area with blue, baby blue sheet. So in that sense, many people say, I played. Since I was blue, everything was white. And I was feeling good one day, thinking I was following what they're talking, that I'm a civilian, with the same things. In that 10 minutes, I think it was very so long, risky, 10 minutes, and afterwards, as the moment it finished, I looked down to see whether it was blue or white. You can imagine it was so much a strong experience that I thought, it's white, I do. This meditation is good, you know. And I was attracted to the word meditation in Buddha. So then, Dr. Nirmala was a very skillful teacher. And she told me we are more than us if you were terrified. So I used to go swimming on weekend with my friend at 5:30. So I told her, wake me up, it's time. So I come to class, I listen to Murli, I feel happy, I feel nice, I feel light. Then they asked me to help with the Nairobi show, international show, the other show. The store next which they want me. I think that it was so good, very egoistic. I said, no. How can I help you? I don't do it. Okay. Then I said, oh, these people are from India, they don't know. So I help them, I feel happy. You see, I was experiencing happiness, listening to Murli, happiness, meditating, happiness, doing seva, service, happiness. And so, of course, example equals not. But one thing I never had problem with was sorrow. I accept it. Right. But before that, even this 12 years old, I had some experience. I was going to children's class, so, we went to play cricket. I was 12, this policy was big, so we were, and hardwood, no pads. So I told my Baba, please not, and they couldn't get me also. It's Baba. There's a child. And then after a few minutes, my mom, keyboard was also the bush. We were playing ping pong. I was scared my mom would scold me. I told Mom, please help me. And I found the ball. So that faith was there that Baba is there. And then these other things were just because not understanding or not really explained. So Baba had not known. Problems are always with him, it's not with him. We always very problems. So we learn I once got upset. I was the first one to get upset because opening of this new center, we got the property and it was one of my exams. Actually, exams are end of the term. First time in the history of the school, they put the exam right in the term. So that the final year, students would get more than. And so when they put, and they announced at the class, the opening is an annual, I said, well, that's something. I was shocked. And I said, I will not. I stopped going, with the class. And I want to go. I'm studying, but my heart is at the center. My heart is, and I sulked. And I said, I just spoiled my stage. Because when I wanted to now start going to class, I couldn't. So we learn from experience. So my nature was, it should be mine. And I learned, if it suits me, okay, not suits me. So we learn. Okay, Om Shanti. Nice to think about it.
Thank you. To Martin Bhai. We have seen Martin Bhai in the right hand of Vedant Devi. So, Tony Bhai and Martin Bhai both are good surrender to Nairobi Center. Nairobi is the headquarters of all Africa. So, every time there is people doing service because there is person from Africa. So, like Vedant Devi, left hand and right hand, both are. Tony Bhai and Martin Bhai. Thank you, Martin Bhai. He did first time in level. Thank you.
Thank you, Om Shanti. Bye bye. Gita Ben.
with them. And okay, bye bye.